Welcome to the God of War Timeline Part 4, The Fall of Olympus. In Part 3, we saw Kratos set out on his ultimate quest for revenge, as he searched for Pandora's box in an attempt to use its power to slay the God of War. After successfully ending Ares and avenging his family, Kratos took his place as the new God of War, and discovered that the gods were the reason for his brother's capture, rescuing him from the grip of death, but losing him all over again, fueling his rage towards the Olympians even further. On Olympus, Kratos found himself alone, shunned by the other gods, as their distrust of him increased. His entire bloodline, including his mother and brother, were truly gone, and his only family left was his loyal Spartan army, as Kratos sent them from city to city, conquering every land in their path for Sparta, much like Ares had done before him. Athena was the only god that cared for Kratos, standing by his side and protecting him from the others, but Athena could only do so much.
Enough, Kratos! With every city you destroy, the wrath of Olympus grows. Soon I will no longer be able to protect you.
I need no protection.
Do not forget that it was I who made you a god, Ghost of Sparta. Do not turn your back on me.
I owe you nothing.
Kratos had let his rage take control, and he used his godly powers to join his army in the city of Rhodes. He unleashed his anger on the city, and no gods could convince him to end his path of destruction, leading us to the events of God of War 2. Zeus had had enough. His son was becoming too powerful, too difficult to control, and decided to strike, appearing in the form of an eagle and taking direct action against Kratos. Zeus had weakened Kratos severely, stripping him of much of his godly power. Knowing the soldiers of Rhodes wouldn't be enough to stop him, he gave life to one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Colossus of Rhodes, and it hunted down Kratos without mercy.
Athena! You will Don't let him open the door!
Kratos, with his weakened abilities, struggled against the Colossus, but Zeus decided to lend a hand, handing over the Blade of Olympus, the very blade that defeated the Titans. But it was all a ploy from Zeus, convincing Kratos to drain his remaining godly power into the blade in order to strike down the enormous monster.
Gods of Olympus! Do you need more proof than this?
Tricked by Zeus, severely wounded, and with none of his strength left, Kratos even struggled to remain standing, and the king of the gods confronted him, as his Spartan soldiers witnessed the fall of their god.
Why does our god struggle?
Yes, I am forced to attend to this matter myself. Athena refused to undo her mistake. Imagine caring for a creature such as yourself.
Why? Why would you betray me?
It is you who would betray me. Am I to stand idly by while Olympus is threatened? Your hands are already stained by the blood of a god. I will not let Ares' fate be my own.
The gods are petty and pathetic, and your rule is weak.
I grow tired of this insolence. I am the king of Olympus. And it is my way that is the way of the gods. You must vow to forever serve me.
I serve no one.
Then you'll leave me no choice.
Kratos has fallen! Submit! I would rather die!
It did not have to be this way, my son. This path is of your choosing.
A choice from the gods is as useless as the gods themselves.
Even now, as you draw your last breath, you continue to defy me? Everything you have ever known, Kratos, will now suffer because of your sacrilege.
You will pay for this, Zeus. Be certain of that.
With his dying breaths, the hands of Hades reached out to take Kratos to the Underworld. The man he had been dreaming of punishing for years. The man who had embarrassed him in front of the other Olympians. The one who killed his queen Persephone. But death would not take Kratos so easily. As he was dragged into the Underworld, the Titan Gaia revealed herself, having hidden inside the earth, watching Kratos over the years, and waiting for the warrior to turn against the gods that had ruined his life, and reached out to him for aid.
Death is an escape, Kratos. You are a warrior of Sparta, not a coward. Only a coward accepts death.
I am no coward.
Then you must fight. I will show you the way to the Sisters of Fate. Only with their power will you defeat Zeus.
Kratos refused to accept death and climbed his way back to the surface, finding that one of his most loyal Spartans had survived Zeus's attack, and commanded him to return to Sparta and defend the city against any forces that Zeus would send their way. As a Pegasus appeared, Kratos mounted the beast and flew off to find the island of creation, the origin of life in the Greek world and home to the Sisters of Fate, who deemed that Kratos would fall against Zeus, the only beings with the power to change his fate. And on the way, Kratos discovered the mountain prison of the Titan Typhon. But angered by the sight of the former Olympian god, the Titan struck back against Kratos, refusing to help him. Kratos had to free his Pegasus in order to make his way to the island, but with his godly power drained, the immense strength of the Titan was too much, and Kratos made his way outside and found Prometheus, the Titan turned mortal that Zeus had punished with endless torment for helping humanity discover fire. Prometheus promised Kratos the power of the Titans if he helped end his suffering. But first, he needed to find a weapon strong enough to break the chains that held him. And remembering that he had seen a weapon stuck in the eye of the Titan, Kratos returned to Typhon, determined to free the weapon from his grasp. After retrieving the powerful bow, Kratos used it on Prometheus' chains, keeping his promise and receiving the rage of the Titans.
You have freed Prometheus from the torment of the gods. His flesh has tainted the fires of Olympus and embodied it with the power of the Titans. These ashes will give you great strength, Kratos. Take them within you and use this strength to defeat your enemies.
Armed with his new power, he used it to free the Pegasus, and continued his journey as their defenses attacked him full force. Kratos had made it to the Island of Creation, but the island over time had been fortified to prevent anybody from reaching the Sisters. Zeus had forbidden anybody to change their fate. Although many had attempted to reach the Sisters, no one had ever succeeded. But that would not stop the iron will of Kratos. He faced the dangers of the island head-on, heading towards the controls of the Steeds of Time, gifted to the Sisters long ago by Kronos. Without the steeds, Kratos couldn't reach the main portion of the island where they resided, and found the key to the steeds, being protected by a man named Theseus, a Greek hero who was famous for slaying the legendary Minotaur, also the son of Poseidon and a mortal woman. But even a man with his status would not stand in his way.
I serve and protect the Sisters of Fate for the glory of Zeus. The time of Zeus is coming to an end. Let me pass, and I will let you live on. I do not think that is your choice to make.
After the defeat of Theseus, Kratos encountered Kronos, offering his aid and imbuing Kratos with his powers. With the Titans at his side, Kratos was slowly becoming every bit as strong as he was when he had his godly powers, and made his way towards the main controls of the Steeds of Time, activating each one and using them to make it towards the core of the island. Once there, Kratos confronted Lachesis, one of the Sisters of Fate, and made it clear that he had no intention of abandoning his quest.
Hear me, fallen god. None defy what the fates decree. That is how it must be. Only death awaits you at the end of your journey.
My death is what began this journey.
The fates have not deemed victory for you. Your soul will never find peace for what you have become.
I am what the gods have made me!
As he made his way through the island, he laid his eyes upon the enormous spire where the sisters lived and where the threads of fate were located. The very threads that determine the path of a mortal's life. Kratos needed to access his thread to return to the very moment that Zeus struck him down. The one moment that Zeus was vulnerable. And at that same time, Kratos encountered a familiar enemy from his past, trying to change his own fate. The barbarian King Ulrich, the champion of Hades that Kratos had killed. The man that forced the Spartan to beg Ares for help. Now an undead warrior confronting his old nemesis.
By the gods, it is true. I have fought my way through the guardians of Hades and rolled my way out of the fires of torment to change my fate. This time, Ghost of Sparta, I will have your head.
No! Not you again!
Kratos put Ulrich down for good, but that wasn't the only enemy he faced on his journey towards the sisters. He also faced another Greek hero, trapped in a bathhouse and searching for a way out desperately. It was Perseus, the young man famous for slaying a mighty Gorgon, on a journey to find the sisters in order to bring his loved one back to life. Attempting to gain the favor of the sisters, he challenged the Spartan. Eventually reaching an enormous chasm he couldn't cross, Kratos ran into the mentally unstable Icarus, architect of a pair of wings that allowed him to fly. During one of his attempts to fly, Icarus fell to his death. Eventually crafting a new set of wings, he grafted directly to his flesh and flew out of Hades, hoping that the sisters would change his fate. But Kratos needed a way across.
Perhaps the sisters have sent you to help me. I realize now.
Taking the wings of Icarus for himself and falling into the Underworld, Kratos happened to come across another enemy from his past, the Titan Atlas, doomed to hold the world up for the rest of his days, doomed by Kratos during the events of Chains of Olympus. And Atlas was furious to see the small Spartan again, but this time the Titans were no longer the enemy of Kratos.
Why would I ever trust a servant of thee?
I no longer do the bidding of the gods, Atlas! I have stomached their betrayal for the last time! Show me the way to the sisters, and I will kill Zeus once and for all!
With the blessing of Atlas, Kratos made his way across the chasm closer and closer to the spire of the Sisters of Fate, forcing their priests to open the gateways leading to it, requiring a blood sacrifice. Over the years, Kratos had become so bitter and angry with the gods that he had sacrificed his humanity for his own goals. He was relentless and had become the very monster that Ares had sought to create, a powerful weapon that the Olympians feared. And Lachesis appeared once again to congratulate him on his successes, telling the Spartan that he was close to gaining an audience with the sisters, an audience the sisters knew would have no effect on his fate. The only way to reach the spire was by flight, but he no longer had his Pegasus, choosing to revive the ancient Phoenix, an enormous bird of fire that rose from the ashes and waited for him to climb onto its back in order to reach his final goal. But before he was able to reach the Phoenix, he encountered a mysterious enemy bent on getting rid of any obstacle in his way, an enemy that would put the cruelty of Zeus on display.
You?
My lord?
I told you to return to Sparta! Why do you leave Sparta unprotected?
Sparta is no more.
What treachery is this?
Zeus. He came under the cloak of darkness into Sparta. Cried out for you. They begged for their god to save them. But you did not come. Was left with no choice. I had to seek out the sisters to change the fate of our beloved Sparta. For I am all that is left. Now you are all that is left. I have faith that our brothers of Sparta will live on through the true God of War.
How you face me, coward! I am through doing the bidding of the gods! Come down here and face me now, Zeus!
Not only was one of his most loyal Spartans taken from him, Zeus had also destroyed all of Sparta, the only thing Kratos had left that he loved, and Zeus massacred all of its citizens with a raging fury. Now more than ever, Kratos knew he had to succeed, not only to pay Zeus back for everything he had done, but to save Sparta from destruction. The last thing that stood in his way before facing the sisters was the enormous Kraken, a tentacled beast awakened by his actions on the island.
So sorry, my love. Can you ever forgive me?
All is not lost, Kratos. You must go on. If you relent, Zeus will torment you still. He will not rest knowing you live. And when you die, his brother Hades will see that your soul is tortured for all eternity. Take within you this fire that burned your beloved Sparta. Let it fuel your rage and hasten your steps towards destiny.
Finally, standing in front of the Sister of Fate Lachesis, Kratos commanded her to step out of his way, realizing they favored Zeus and had no intention of changing his fate. And Kratos decided that the Sisters of Fate had to die. He would take their powers and control time itself, as she summoned her younger sister Atropos.
We control your destiny, foolish mortal! With a win, we can end your life! Or allow you to live. Search your memory, Kratos. The sword which you stand on delivered your victory against Ares. Without it, you will be the one who dies this day, not Ares. We can change your past and set your future. This is the power of the Fates!
Let the rage of the Titans drive your will.
This power was never meant for a mortal like you!
Final Sister of Fate, Clotho, is the only one that remained, a gigantic, grotesque creature that managed the threads of mortal lives. With both of her sisters dead, she attacked Kratos, enraged. The threads had to be protected from his wrath at all costs. Finally, with the Sisters of Fate out of his way, Kratos had the power to control time, and used it to travel back to the moment right before Zeus thrust the Blade of Olympus into him, saving Sparta and challenging Zeus in combat.
What? How can this be? The Sisters of Fate have aided you. Unexpected.
The sisters are dead.
I underestimated you. A mistake I do not intend to repeat.
To kill you, Zeus! Not let you destroy Sparta. I told you I would make you pay for what you did.
I am through playing with you, Kratos!
Zeus and Kratos were both shocked by each other's raw power, and realizing they were at a stalemate, stopped the battle. If Kratos couldn't overpower Zeus physically, he would use his mental sharpness, forged over the years of combat in the Spartan army, to outsmart the king of the gods.
Release me from this tormentor.
I will release you from your life, my son, but your torment is just beginning.
But as he was about to deliver the final blow, tragedy would strike again, and another innocent victim would fall in the chaos.
You cannot do this, Kratos!
You dare stand against me, Athena?
I do not wish to fight you, Kratos, but I will defend Olympus! No, Kratos! Stop!
Athena! No! Why do you sacrifice yourself?
To save Olympus.
I do not seek to destroy Olympus. Only Zeus.
Zeus is Olympus.
He brought this to himself.
Because of fear, Kratos. A fear felt by his father, Kronos. A fear that wrought the Great War. A fear that drove Zeus to kill you. His own son.
His son?
Just as Zeus was compelled to destroy his father, Kronos. You are compelled to do the same. No son should destroy his own father.
No. I have no father.
God after God will deny you, Kratos.
They will protect Zeus. Zeus must live so that Olympus will prevail.
If all on Olympus will deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die. I have lived in the shadow of the gods for long enough. The time of the gods has come to an end.
Zeus had escaped for now, and Kratos was armed with the truth about his father. His Olympian sister was dead, trying to protect Zeus, the only god he cared for slain because of the cowardice of the king of the gods. The fury of Kratos would not hold back. Using his newfound abilities to go through time, he traveled to the time of the Great War between the Titans and the Olympians, calling to Gaia and offering to bring them to the present, to stand with him against the gods.
Brothers, put aside the petty grievances that have splintered us for so long. We will unite, we will stand together, and I will wipe out this plague. Olympus will prevail.
Zeus, your son has returned! I bring the destruction of Olympus!
Together with Gaia and the rest of the Titans, Kratos set siege to Mount Olympus, and the creatures of the Underworld were unleashed to stand in his way, leading to the events of God of War 3. Zeus and the other gods knew the Titans were coming. Although they were defeated in the past, they were formidable foes, and knew they had to band together and put their grievances aside to stand a chance. Final assault on the gods had begun, as Kratos defended Gaia against the creatures, and Poseidon, god of the seas, joined the front lines.
A true warrior does not hide, Poseidon! Leave the sea and face me!
You have disrespected the gods for the last time, Kratos.
Kratos had defeated the aquatic beast Poseidon had summoned, but now the real god of the seas revealed himself, swearing that Kratos would pay for his actions, including the sinking of his city of Atlantis. But Kratos had slain gods before, and had no fear towards them.
Jump to my hand!
Zeus should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
The death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
After brutally killing Poseidon, the remnants of chaos the gods had absorbed were released into the mortal realm, and the seas of the Greek world had completely lost control, rising and burying most of the world below its oceans, returning it to a state before the Olympians had defeated the Titans and taken control. Facing his father once again, Kratos taunted Zeus with his end.
What will you do, father? You can no longer hide behind the skirts of Athena.
Athena is dead because of the rage that consumed you, Kratos. What more will you destroy?
The hands of death could not defeat me. The sisters of fate could not hold me. And you will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge!
Excellent child! I will tolerate your insolence no more!
I can hold on no longer!
If I help you, we will both fall. Even now, Zeus gains.
The destruction of Zeus is why you saved me from death!
I saved you to serve the Titans.
Do not deny me my revenge!
Listen carefully, Kratos. You were a simple pawn, nothing more. Zeus is no longer your concern. This is our war, not yours!
Betrayed by Gaia, Kratos fell off Mount Olympus towards the depths of the Underworld. Realizing he was used by the Titans to reach their own goals, Kratos knew that he was alone on his journey now, and could trust no one but himself. He was now in the kingdom of Hades, quite possibly the god that hated him the most, and he fought off the spirits of the underworld that were threatening to drag him down, and made it to the shore, seeing Athena once again, shocked to see his sister, deceased but in a different form.
Zeus will not fall as easily as Ares. To destroy the king of the gods, you must seek the source of his strength, the Flame of Olympus.
You once sacrificed yourself to save Zeus, and now you seek to destroy him? What has brought about this change?
I see truths where I did not before.
Kratos was suspicious of Athena's motives, but accepted her help regardless. The goddess who once died protecting Zeus now gave Kratos her aid in destroying him. As told by Athena, he set out to find the Flame of Olympus, the barrier protecting Pandora's box that he once used to slay Ares. But he first had to make his way out of Hades, as the god of the underworld toyed with his nephew.
I knew you would be back, Spartan. Did you miss me?
While searching for a way out of the underworld, Kratos thought he had heard the voice of his daughter Calliope once again. But in fact, he had discovered Pandora, who was hidden away by Zeus to keep anyone from opening Pandora's box again.
You are not my daughter.
No, but I know who you are.
You know of me?
They said you would come.
Playing with toys, Kratos.
Show yourself, Hades. Another one of your tricks.
As usual, Spartan. You are gravely mistaken.
Face me, coward!
So eager, Kratos. Relax. Soon enough, we will have our time to play.
In the very depths of Hades, he also ran into the craftsman of the gods, Hephaestus, father of Pandora, beaten and disfigured by Zeus, and punished to stay forever in a small cavern he was trapped in. Hephaestus gave no useful information to Kratos, worried that the ghost of Sparta would hurt his precious Pandora. Eventually, Kratos found his way to Hades' throne room, protected by a statue, where his slain queen Persephone was kept in a coffin. Kratos took the coffin of the woman that made him feel the pain of losing his daughter all over again, and used it to destroy the statue, allowing him to come face to face with Hades, god of the underworld, the god that had been at his throat for years.
I sense some bad blood between us, Kratos. How many sins have you committed against me? Oh, that's right, you murdered my niece, Athena. And what else? What else? And you killed my brother, Poseidon. And I have not forgotten that it was you who butchered my beautiful queen.
Kratos had killed the god of the Underworld, absorbing his soul and taking his weapons, as the souls of the dead that he had ruled over went wild, attacking his body and pulling it down into the abyss. With no rule over the Underworld, the souls of the dead escaped, wandering the mortal realm with no place to go, as more chaos was unleashed. As he gave the news to Hephaestus that Hades was dead, the smith god felt a newfound hope that Pandora may be returned to him, and begged Kratos to find and rescue her, not telling him what her actual purpose was. He also warned Kratos that he would die if he stepped into the Flame of Olympus, and Athena reappeared to him, encouraging him to continue his quest, as he promised that Zeus would die. Climbing out of the underworld, he discovered Gaia wounded and clinging to the edge of Mount Olympus, begging for help as Kratos could only think of her betrayal of him, and all of those that had betrayed Kratos had paid a price before.
Kratos, do I mean nothing to you? You were a means to an end, Gaia, nothing more.
As he made his way deeper into the city, destroying every manner of creature in his path, Kratos saw Helios locked in battle with one of the Titans. Helios, the same god that he had rescued during the events of Chains of Olympus. Every chance to slay a god had to be taken, since they would defend Zeus and Olympus until their dying breaths.
Kratos, I have not forgotten the debt I owe you. Save me now, as you once saved me from Atlas. And I promise to repay you in full.
If you wish to repay me, tell me where I can find the Flame of Olympus.
Feel the power of the sun! Wait! I can tell you that to destroy Zeus, you must step into the flame to receive its power.
You lie, Helios! Hephaestus told me the flame kills all who touch it.
And you believe him? That freak has fallen from the graces of Olympus!
That is exactly why I believe him.
With the death of Helios, the sun disappeared and the sky darkened, and with the blood of several gods on his hands, Kratos arrived ever closer to Zeus, and the king of Olympus grew more and more concerned with his success, and Pandora continued begging for his help. Following the pathway up towards the Flame of Olympus, he not only had to face the creatures sent by the gods, he also had to face any titans in his way too, as they knew he attacked Gaia. Eventually he made it into a labyrinth, an obstacle on the way to Pandora, and another Olympiad stood before him taunting him, the obnoxious Hermes, father of the messenger of the god Syrinx that he had slain during the events of God of War betrayal.
To catch a fly from the ass of Zeus is not worth my time, Hermes.
A coward's words, Kratos. You don't try to catch me because you know you can't. Kratos! Where are you off to today? Kill any family members lately? Oh, that's right. You're off to kill your father, Zeus. Won't happen, can't happen. Kratos is on a fool's errand. Again. Never, never learn. Never, never change. Kratos, the fool who killed his own blood. Kratos the fool among mortals and gods, forever ever cursed, forever ever doomed, consumed by vengeance to his last breath. The Spartan lights the way to dusty death.
After climbing out of the labyrinth, Kratos found the fabled Flame of Olympus, and Athena revealed to him that Pandora was the key to destroying the flame. In order to even reach the box, he had to find Pandora and rescue her from wherever Zeus had hidden her. But the annoying Hermes acted as a distraction from his goal. It was time to end this fool.
You've been lucky in battle, Spartan, but your luck ends today! Lazy mortal! I thought Spartans fought with honor, and yet you seek to kill me when I have no way to defend myself? Not fair! Leave me alone! Go away!
With the death of Hermes, Chaos unleashed a swarm of disease-carrying insects upon the land, covering it in pestilence and plague. Hera, the wife of Zeus and queen of the Olympian gods, confronted Kratos, and he demanded to know where Pandora was, as Hera instead decided to unleash Hercules, one of her husband's bastard children, on him. Hercules was extremely jealous of Kratos, believing that he should have been the one favored among the gods, and eagerly wanted to prove that he was stronger. Hephaestus once again requested the help of Kratos, telling him that he needed a powerful stone to build a weapon capable of hurting Zeus immensely, but the stone was extremely difficult to find. It was the same stone that Kronos had swallowed, believing it was the baby Zeus. The stone now resided inside Kronos, who had been banished to the pits of Tartarus by Zeus after Pandora's box had been found, while Kratos would have to cut it out himself.
Your death will be, gentle one.
Damn mortals! You will suffer when my sight returns! Clearly a skilled warrior, Kratos.
I will make you into a bloody stain.
Kratos? You sent me to my death?
No, calm yourself, Kratos. I knew you were up to the challenge.
Finding the stone, Kratos returned to Hephaestus, furious that he was sent to fight a Titan single-handedly, and Hephaestus took the stone and used it to create his new weapon. But this was a trick. He used the weapon against Kratos in an attempt on his life. He knew the only way to open Pandora's box was to sacrifice her to the flame, and he refused to allow Kratos to harm her. But the attempt on his life would not go unpunished.
Please, spare her. Pandora, forgive me.
Leaving the Underworld for good, Hera confronted Kratos again, intoxicated and angry that her beloved garden was dying due to the death of all the gods. None of her plants were surviving the chaos they were enveloped in, and berated Kratos. He had no desire to harm her, but the wife of Zeus constantly stood in his way, threatening the life of Pandora.
Look at it! They're dying because of you! Everything is dying because of you! Your ruthless murdering of the gods has caused all of this! Ah! You simple mortal. How dare you challenge us? You think you can just walk away? We aren't finished! Good luck with that little whore you call Pandora.
with the death of Hera, all plant life died and withered away. Making his way through the caverns designed to hold Pandora, Kratos finally had found her, the key to opening the box, and seeing her reminded him of his own daughter, as Kratos took a liking to the young girl, swearing to protect her from the wrath of Zeus, but not knowing that her sacrifice is the only thing that can open the box.
He told me to never talk to you again. He told me if I did, he would hurt you the way he hurt my father.
He won't.
He told me he would kill you.
He can't. We must leave this place.
Come, I can show you the way.
The young girl told Kratos that he had to break the massive chains connecting the labyrinth to the Underworld to raise it high enough to reach Olympus. Breaking the chains caused immense damage to the Underworld, and Zeus realized that Pandora was free, as Kratos rushed back up to find her, seeing her in the arms of Athena. Athena had kept Pandora safe, but reminded Kratos that his journey was not over. He still had to get Pandora to the flames so she could unlock the barrier protecting the box. As soon as he opened up the barrier, he realized the sacrifice Pandora would have to make and refused to let the young girl die, as his father had finally found them.
In the darkness, the fires of hope will set us free.
Pandora, no!
You know why I'm here. You brought me here to do this.
I will find another way.
No, Kratos. There is no other way. Let me go!
No, child!
I am not a child! You're hurting me! Kratos, help!
Put her down, Zeus! Your obsession with this thing has become somewhat of a nuisance, my son. Release the girl, Zeus! Don't confuse this object, this construction of Hephaestus with your own flesh and blood. Taking pity on you has been my greatest mistake, Kratos. Just as taking pity on this thing will prove to be your greatest mistake.
This has nothing to do with her!
It has everything to do with her!
Put her down!
As you wish.
As the surrounding area collapsed from the battle, Pandora found herself being absorbed by the Flame of Olympus. But she understood what her purpose was, and she was willing to give her life to help defeat Zeus.
This is what I am meant to do! You know that! Please!
Hush!
Kratos, you know this is the only way!
Don't listen to her, Kratos. For once in your pathetic life, don't fail. Don't fail her like you failed your family.
Pandora!
After all you have sought, after all you have sacrificed, it ends in another stunning failure!
The empty box shocked both Kratos and Zeus. He didn't realize it at the time, but Pandora's sacrifice was needless. The weapon against the gods was the power of hope, which Kratos had already absorbed within his body in the events of the original God of War. He already held the strength to defeat Zeus within himself, and stood against his father one final time in a titanic clash that would determine the fate of the entire Greek world, as Gaia joined the fray against both father and son.
Father and son will die together!
I'll put an end to this chaos!
Kratos had thrust the blade of Olympus deep within Zeus, passing through the heart of Gaia, killing the mother of the Titans that had betrayed him. Finding the lifeless body of Zeus laying in the ground, a beaten and bloodied Kratos believed that his vengeance had finally come to an end. But something was wrong. The power of Zeus was so immense that his astral form separated from his body and attacked Kratos, sending him into dark memories of his past, attempting to turn his own mind against him. But Kratos' journey had come to an end, and he had to succeed no matter the cost.
Kratos! No, Father, no!
My wife. My child. How? They were left in Sparta.
Kratos, you know this is the only way! As the fear in the gods rose, mine was replaced by hope.
Power to kill a god.
Hope is what makes us strong. It is why we are here. It is what we fight with when all else is lost.
Zeus, king of the gods, was dead, beaten to a pulp by the fury of his son, and Olympus was no more. The world was thrust into its natural state before the gods. No order, no rules. Chaos in its purest form. Athena appeared to Kratos again one final time, as he finally realized the destruction that his vengeance had wrought on mankind.
Go if you must. But first, I insist you give me the power from inside the box.
The box was empty.
That can't be true. I can see it in your eyes. You used my power to kill Zeus. You still have it as we speak.
Athena realized that the power to kill the gods, her power of hope, that she had originally placed in the box was inside of Kratos, and requested that he return it to her, in order for her to remake the world under her peaceful rule, possibly being infected by the evil of greed, unleashed by Pandora's box. Kratos could see this.
You owe me this, Kratos.
I owe you nothing.
I made you a god. I sheltered you from the wrath of Olympus. I delivered you revenge on Zeus.
It is over, Athena.
You would dare strike me down? Again?
My vengeance ends now.
You fool! What have you done?
And in his first act of selflessness, Kratos decided to prevent the Greek world from falling under the rule of another god, and release the power of hope back into the world, giving it back to mankind.
You disappoint me, Spartan.
The body of Kratos had mysteriously vanished, with a bloody trail leading towards the sea. The man who had destroyed the world, and at the same time freed it from the rule of the Olympians, had survived. Join me next time for the God of War timeline finale, in Part 5, The Second Chance, where we'll follow the journey of a much older and wiser Kratos, now freed completely from his bonds and living in a foreign realm ruled by other gods, as he gets a second chance at the life that was stolen from him. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and a comment down below letting me know. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media. You can also check out some of my other videos or click my Patreon link if you'd like to support GamerThumbTV. This is Fabian. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.